7th grade at Our Lady of Assumption School in Ventura, California. I am honored to be with Mr. Ray Bradbury in his study. Thank you for letting me interview you.
It's a pleasure. Wonderful. Thank you.
Ray, how did you know you would be a writer when you were so young?
I remember being born. That's a good way to start. And from the very moment I was born, I remembered everything that happened. So every single minute and hour in all the years of my life, I have a total desire and the need and the ability to see and remember. So that's been my life.
Who inspired you to write?
All the writers do, and a lot of movie stars do. I started going to movies when I was 3 years old, and I saw Hunchback of Notre Dame with Lon Chaney, and I hoped to grow up and become a hunchback. And I saw Lon Chaney in his film about the opera in Paris, the Phantom of the Opera, and I saw all the other great actors. And then I began to read Edgar Rice Burroughs, who wrote the Tarzan books. So I read the work of Edgar Rice Burroughs, and he inspired me to be a writer.
What was your favorite book when you were 12, and do your favorite books change a lot or stay constant?
Oh, my favorite book was Tarzan of the Apes. I read that when I was 9 years old, and I loved the way Edgar Rice Burroughs got Tarzan in the trees. And then when I was 12 and 13, I read The Thuvia Maid of Mars and The Chessmen of Mars and all the Martian books on Edgar Rice Burroughs. So when I wrote my first book, when I was 12 years old, it was a sequel to the Martian books of Edgar Rice Burroughs.
I love dinosaurs, and a friend of yours told me that you made a pact with Ray Harryhausen to never grow up and always love dinosaurs. Is that true?
That's very well put. And when I was 6 years old, a film came out called The Lost World, and Ray Harryhausen, who was born the same time as I was, saw that film, and he fell in love with the dinosaurs. So I met him when we were 18, and he told me that he was creating dinosaurs. I said, oh my God, that's wonderful. So he took me to his house and introduced me to his dinosaurs, and they were all around him, and then he showed me a film he was making where he made the dinosaurs come to life. And I thought, oh, that's wonderful. If he can create dinosaurs, maybe I can write for them. So I told Ray Harryhausen, I hope you're going to be my friend forever. And when we're the right age, you can make a film about dinosaurs, and I will write the screenplay. So it didn't happen until we were 30 years old, and we finally did a film together called The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. So it finally happened, and it began when I was 18 years old with Ray Harryhausen.
Do you believe there are other sentient life forms in our universe?
I think they're everywhere. The whole universe is alive. The cosmos is fantastic. The whole extent of the light year universe is incredible. It's billions of light years across, and that cosmos is fantastic. It's alive just like we are alive.
With painting and music, there are techniques to learn early on. Are there techniques I need to learn when I'm beginning to write?
What you do is you just sit down and write. There are no techniques, you learn them. You teach yourself. Just by writing a short story every day of your life, for the next 3 years you will become a writer. You teach yourself. And you go to the library and you have the books teach you. You pick the books you want to read. If you got Edgar Rice Burroughs will teach you. If you love Jules Verne, you read his books and he'll teach you how to write. If you like H.G. Wells and his book, The Invisible Man, he will teach you. So it's a period of doing it regardless, and with your authors surrounding you, and the very fact they're in a room with you, they're teaching you.
If you don't like what you're writing, should you always try and fix it or move on to something else?
It's better to move on. Don't worry about it. You can't fix the thing. It's better to do something new. And later on you come back to something you're not happy with. So I've written a lot of things that I'm not happy about, but I just moved on. I said, to heck with that, and come back to that later.
If you could only give me one piece of advice about being a writer, what would it be?
There's only one piece of advice to give. Do what you love and love what you do. Make sure that you write is something that you love madly. And when you're done, you have something. And then the next piece of writing is something that you love to do. Don't listen to anyone who tells you not what to do. They can't be you. They can't understand you. They can't understand your loves. So you say, I'm going to do something I love, and I'm going to create something great as a result.
When I am a father, what do you think your legacy will be for my son or daughter?
I think when you have a son or daughter, they're going to be relatively happy because you are a genius already. You already love life, and you prove it in everything you say to me, so that when time comes for you to have a family, your children are going to be lucky to know you as a father, because you are very open, and you love life, and you have good parents, and you're surrounded by a good teacher, and you'd like to pass that around. So I'm sure that you're going to do it. You're going to have a fantastic life. I think you're going to be very much like me, because when I was your age, I was behaving just the way you are behaving. So you've got a great life ahead of you, and you've got great children.
Do you think our leaders will have the courage to move into space in my lifetime?
We're way behind the times. Our leaders are not leading us. We should never have left the moon. We should have stayed there and prepared to go on to Mars. So now, 30 years later, we're 30 years beyond the time. We've got to go back and go to the moon again. That's going to take time. It's going to take at least 50 years to prepare the moon to go on to Mars, because Mars is where we want to go. And so, sometime between now and when you're 20 years old, you're going to see us go back to the moon, and then you're going to, when you're 30, maybe you'll be one of those that goes on to Mars also.
I have seen the play Illustrated Man. Did you write these stories from your real experience or from history and mythology?
No, these things just happen to me. They don't come from history or mythology. They come from inside me, and I inspire myself. I cannot look to any root system or mythology to write my stories. There's something that happens between my ears, inside my head, and I wake in the morning and I look and there they are. I say, I'm going to run, put those down. And that's the way I act.
What is your favorite movie of all time and why?
Well, one of the great movies is a movie made by Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because it's a religious film. It reminds me of the Vatican ceiling in Rome, where God reaches down through the universe and touches the hand of Adam. and Adam reaches up the other way and touches the hand of God. So the visitors from another part of the universe arrive here on Earth and look down on us and bring their ship down and to visit us, and we go aboard the ship and go away into the universe. So that's very religious, isn't it? It's being visited by God, who says, come on the voyage with me into the universe. And a wonderful man like Francois Truffaut is in the film, and he is the priest, in a way, of the film. And he is the one that tells us to be religious, to relate ourselves to the universe. And he says, look up at it and worship. So the fact that Truffaut is the actor at the center of the film is immensely exciting.
When you write children's books, do you have to think very differently from writing adult books?
No, you don't. All of my books are children's books. I didn't set out to write them for children, but because they are full of excitement and glory and love, children read them and say, that's my stuff. So I didn't know it, but I wrote 30 children's books. That's not what it says on the label. They're just books that people buy in bookstores, and adults buy them and take them home and read them, and they hand them to their children, and the children say, I didn't know he wrote children's books. And by God, that's what he writes, every single one, because I am still a 12-year-old, and this 12-year-old in here writes these books. He writes them for you and all of your friends.
The media and many people say you are legendary and very important. How influential and significant do you think you might be?
I can't decide that, but a lot of people say I am, and thank God I am. I'm influential because people listen to me. I tell them to do things that I love, and fortunately, they go and do them. So I didn't realize I was going to be influential, but the fact that people trust me and ask questions, and then I tell them what to do, that's being influential. I never thought that would ever happen, but by God, it is happening.
Why are you so passionate about your plays and reading, and why is it important for children to read?
It's everything, because if you learn to read correctly, you learn to think. If you can read and write, then you have the ability to look at the world and make up your truths about the world too.
Your book, Fahrenheit 451, is the #1 read in national schools and libraries. I'm about to read Fahrenheit 451. Nearly 60 years after you wrote it, why is this book still so important?
Because of my love of libraries. And I learned on my way up, when I was growing, I saw Hitler in Germany burning the books in the street, and I heard about the libraries in Alexandria, Egypt, 5,000 years ago, burning, and because I was in the center of libraries, it upset me and made me sick to my stomach. So when I was in my 30s, finally, I wrote a book about burning libraries, and that's what Fahrenheit 451 is. Fantastic is happening right now. Sometime in the next year, a translation of Fahrenheit 451 will be made in Egypt and will be premiered in Alexandria. I'm so excited to think of that, because 5,000 years ago, the first libraries burnt in Alexandria. So I'm hoping that libraries come back into the world with my one book, Fahrenheit 451. I'm fantastically happy about this. Incidentally, I'd like to tell you about this miracle. The French ambassador to Mexico came to L.A. 2 months ago, and they threw me a banquet, and he put his medal around my neck. It is an honor for the French people. I'm now a commander of arts and letters in France. It's an honor to have the French do this to me because they are literary people, and they have the greatest people in their existence are their French authors and the French books. So here we are. I'm a commander of arts and letters, and I command you to love me, my books, and my young friend here. You've got to love him too.
We will love you both, and it's a beautiful medal.
Ray, it has been an honor to talk to you. Thank you for your time and hospitality. It was a lot of fun.
Well, God bless you. I'm glad you could come, and I hope you'll come back again, and we'll do another interview. And I wish you a long and happy life. God bless you.